Welcome to Puff Puff Podcast, where we talk movies, TVs, games, and current events. My name is Dylan, and this is
Shannon.
And let's spark this shit up and get on the go. So, Shannon.
Ooh, that was a big flame.
I'm a badass, what can I say? What was your first experience with marijuana?
It was in Screen Arts. I think it was like the film festival of the second year? I don't actually remember.
Did you get baked?
No.
No?
Because I don't think I was smoking it right or whatever.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I had the same
I also
problem.
had a little bit, like, not a lot. It was like...
I had that same feeling when I first smoked. And here's the funny story about how I first started. Well, not when I first started. When I first smoked, I was 18, prom night. I had just gotten dumped. No, I just got walked out on prom. And the boys were like, Dylan, you know, let's cheer you up. And they found this old pop can and this old
Ew.
bag on the ground, and we used a lung. And at first I'm like, I don't feel anything. And then it's like, then I went to bed and I woke up to like seeing the moonlight against the tent shining through and all these question marks. It looked like the Riddler had been in my tent.
Question mark.
Yeah, it totally was. And then, you know, I go back to sleep and I wake up probably about, I want to say 20 minutes later. It could have been like 3 hours for all I fucking knew. And I woke up to my friends drunk outside, and all I hear is my buddy Ralph go, I'm going to stick my dick in his ass. I woke up ready to fight. Because I'm like, these guys are drunk, and this is going to be some kind of rape shit.
Were you, like, genuinely concerned that you were going to get touched?
I was genuinely concerned that these idiots were going to do something that's going to fucking...
Like Jackass, or they, like, kiss in their mouth or
Yeah,
something.
more like that, anything. Yeah, I didn't actually think I was going to get, like, actually molested. So, yeah, this is formerly the Ginger Binger podcast, guys, but we rebranded the Puff Puff podcast because we're always puffing. And Puff said. Instead of enough said, Puff said. No, I'll try it next time. I'm going to get it over.
Dad jokes of the ANTP.
Dad jokes of the NTP. Hey, Rick does it. Why can't I do it? Rickety, Rick, son.
Does Rick make dad jokes?
Mm-hmm.
What's he say?
Well, Rick makes references, not dad jokes.
I guess that's close enough.
Yeah, more or less. Shannon, so with, it being winter, I want to talk about that fucking snowstorm that hit Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it, how much was it? Was it like, I want to say 5 feet. That's not it at all. It was like a couple inches? 6 inches?
Well, it depends, because the storm wasn't just Texas. It was Texas that had the biggest issues.
Well, Texas is what I want. Yeah, more what I'm focusing on.
Because that's why people are focused on it. I don't know how much. It depends on the parts of Texas, too, because there was some pictures where it's like, oh, there's not a lot of snow, but, like, it was the fact that it was cold. And
well, they lost power.
Yeah, they had no power.
I didn't realize that Texas is the only state that has a privatized power grid.
Yeah.
Which, to me, that sounds absolutely horrendous as a consumer.
I want to know why. Somebody very briefly explained it. They're like, because this happened. I'm like, what? That didn't answer my question.
When it comes to privatizing things, like, sometimes, like, the idea is like, oh, it'll pass better things off to the customer. But I'm always worried because corporations are just going to be like, okay, there's not going to be a set rate of how much they can increase. They can just do as they please.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me nervous.
But
with shit like that people need to live.
It was like the people that had power, they're now going to charge like thousands of dollars.
I heard that.
Went
like
way up
something.
in a bunch of, like, it was crazy. It's like, what? Why? No, that's not how that works. I'm not using power. The power should be way less, but it was because it was like more worth or whatever.
I think
like
it was
gold
some people pay
or some shit.
Someone described it as they pay on what the average consumption was, and I think the people who still had power were consuming so much of it to like stay warm. So that was kind of like maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's what I've heard. I don't 100% know.
Yeah.
Did you, like, we've talked about this off podcast about the mayor who fucking stepped down. Did you actually ever read the tweet?
Yeah, he was literally like, the weak will die.
I have this here, and I would like to read this, okay? So, this is from former mayor of Colorado City in Texas. Somehow that works. This is Tim Boyd. And I just love his opening line here. I feel like he thought that this was his Clint Eastwood moment. And that's the person I use. Yeah, like he's the cranky old man who thinks he's badass. This is what it is. Let me hurt some feelings while I have a minute. Like, what a cunt.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, oh, I wish somebody would slap you. Don't go slap the mayor, people.
Yes, do that. Fuck the politicians.
Fucked.
Politicians, bunch of fucking pedophiles.
Jesus Christ. This is going to get us.
They are, look it up.
Yes.
Not all of them, but a lot of them.
I mean, saying politicians. Here's the question: saying politicians are pedophiles, is that defamatory? Because it's like there is one or two. You know what I mean? It's not a disaccurate statement.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Unless you're using it as a generalization.
Yeah. There are many politicians in every country who happen to be pedophiles, but not all are. Disclaimer.
Politicians' rights matters. Yeah, right.
Gets a visit from. That's what I was thinking of today. I was like, what if I said something that was like anti-U.S. government, and then the fucking U.S. government showed up to our doorstep like it did that YouTube guy?
Well, here
like,
the U.S. government has no authority here.
But like, what if Canada allowed them?
What if Canada acted on their behalf? You mean like that type of thing? Like they
like the what is it?
FBI, Homeland Security.
Homeland Security. Yeah, with Homeland Security,
they wouldn't send the Americans. Canada would deal with it because it's your Canadian. So it would be the Canadian whatever. I don't even know the Homeland Security.
I don't know what
version.
our thing is.
But either way, yeah, you'd have to be like, okay, now it's like I'm very like, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, what do you say?
Well, it's an intimidation tactic. It is that type of stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to be like, fuck off. Like you can't be like, ooh.
But you can't do that because then they come up with some trumped up charge.
Well, you can't actually tell them fuck off, you know?
Yeah, you can get fined for that, I believe.
What, for swearing?
I'm pretty sure. I know it happens in Quebec, I believe, or at least it used to. I heard that from somebody. I might be completely wrong, but apparently, yeah, you can get fined if you tell an officer to go fuck off or something like that.
I feel like that shouldn't be allowed.
No, here's why I completely agree with you. You can swear at normal citizens. Yeah. No problem. So are cops above us? Yeah. If that's the case, when a cop fucks up, they should have twice the punishment, twice the scrutiny.
Also, you're giving a leverage to a word that anybody can say and commonly says, you know?
Exactly.
That's something that's in the moment that you just screech out.
Well, here's the thing. Telling a cop to go fuck off and go pound sand, you're telling the same thing. Yeah. But the only thing is, this word gets reaction, the same phrase. It shouldn't be the word. It should be the intent of what you're saying. Yeah. Because if I tell you, oh, Shannon, go jump off a bridge, that's nothing. But if I say go kill yourself, you know what I mean? And I don't think those two equate to each other. Maybe that was a bad example. But again, pound sand and fuck off, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that should be part of, like, the freedom of speech. And I don't think we have a full freedom of speech that the states do. We have a different one.
No, ours,
But, like, I feel like you should be allowed to, like, say that, especially because you're in a stressful moment. You're not thinking and everything. That shouldn't be a law.
I don't know if it's a federal law, though. It might be provincial. It might even be municipal. You know, something stupid like that. But you're right. If that does exist, we may be wrong. I don't know. But if that does exist, it should be stricken down because, again, you're right. You can't... In my opinion, you can't arrest people for saying things. No. As much as you disagree with them or don't like them, because that's dangerous.
Yeah. You can say whatever the fuck you want. It's the intent. Are you actually saying, I am going to XYZ? Or are you saying, I would like to XYZ?
Well, not even that. It's a threat.
Well,
that would be a threat.
It depends if you're like, I'm going to do a terrorist, like, reaction, blah, blah, blah. I'm a Nazi. I feel like that's different.
You know that soundbite's going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
What? Oh,
Yep.
I don't think I look like either.
That's exactly what they want, those terrorist organizations.
I feel like you can see a Nazi.
You can see a Nazi.
Oh my god.
That sounds like the sequel to Kill a Mockingjay or something. That sounds like a doctor. Can you see a Nazi? Is he over there? Is he over here? Does he wear his hair?
Is Hitler there?
Is Hitler... That's great. I want to get back to this tweet.
Texas.
Yeah. So let me start over because I only did one line and we went on a 5-minute tangent. Maybe we're just going to dissect this because how cunty this guy is. Let me hurt some feelings while I have a minute. ! No one owes you, your family, anything. Instead of R, it's ARE.
Oh, he can't even fucking spell
Yeah.
right. Politician.
Nor is the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. Sink or swim, it's your choice. Basically, what he's saying is the government is not here for you at all. Why the fuck is the government in charge then if they're not there to help and protect people?
Why am I a citizen? What's the government's job? Are citizens just like? I feel like he views like these people as like immigrants, like, you know what I mean? Like,
he views these people as lesser than himself.
yeah, honestly,
he totally does. He has
puts
no
them in like
humanity.
a little gate. You know what
It's
I mean?
a them.
Yeah, it's kind of like how like the races view like the Mexicans.
That's totally what it is.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think someone made a great point about this guy. Because he stepped down. He said the only reason that this guy was made to step down is because he said this to white people.
What?
Like, this tweet is out for, like, a bunch of people in Texas, so white people are part of it. But he said, saying this to a group of minorities, Republicans get elected on that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
That is very true.
And I want to make a disclaimer for anybody listening. I'm not pro-Republican, pro-Democrat, pro-conservative, liberal. I call out shit when I think it's shit.
I don't even really know what Republican and liberal is. I know that liberal is like lefty, which is like, I picture
In
like
theory,
little,
it's supposed to be
yeah,
lefty.
but really, honestly, like Joe fucking Biden. Okay, I need to go on this little rant about Joe Biden.
All right.
I was like, we need Joe Biden because fuck Donald Trump.
Well,
yeah.
Shit today is better. Is fresher than shit from yesterday.
Yeah, like I was like, Joe Biden all the fucking way. Go vote, please, Joe Biden, because you can't just not vote because it's gonna be either or. You can't just be like, oh, I'm not gonna vote because I don't agree. It's like, listen, do you want Donald Trump there or not?
Yeah, I don't agree with that either, that whole argument of this is how I protest the system. If you protest the system that way, the system functions with or without you. Mm-hmm. I think re-changing the system, that's how you protest it, whether it be talking to Congress, trying to get a third party, and I don't know how the process works, but actively doing something.
Yeah.
You not voting is not an active thing. You're abstaining from something. And in that situation, I don't think it has the effect that those people want it to have.
Yeah.
And usually I find those people, not all of them, of course, but the people I've come across who say that stuff are usually just lazy shitheads.
Mm.
Not saying that people who don't vote are lazy shitheads. Not
Well,
everybody.
I feel like, I feel like if it's an election between two people who are just kind of like, they're both like meh presidents, and you're like, either or.
South Park's giant douche or a turd sandwich
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
But like, I feel like this last election was a big like, listen, it's gonna be this fucking shit, or it's gonna be like normal. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be like Bush times again.
Bush
You know
time.
what I
That should be the documentary about his life, Bush times.
It's like, do you want to be stuck in Donald Trump times, or do you want to go back to Bush where you were like still kind of angry, but like definitely not as angry as you are now?
Yeah.
So you gotta fucking choose. So anyways, Joe Biden the other day.
What did he do?
So somebody, I don't know where the fuck he was.
Can we start calling him Jojo Biden like you said earlier? Because
Jojo Siwa Biden.
illegitimate daughter, conspiracy, Epstein's Island. Did it happen? I'm a terrible person going to hell. You know, here's the thing: people will there's no we can't suffer character assassination. If this is our first episode of this brand of the podcast, we're fucked.
We're going for the South Park vibe. Where
we're going for saying what we want. That's real. But you were,
and it's not like to disrespect you. It's like I genuinely don't like hate a group of people. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
And I'm not like, oh, this group of people shouldn't exist. They shouldn't be part of my life, or I'm not. Da, 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 da. Like, no, it's just like,
except for customers.
Yeah. Yes. Don't talk to me, please. Please leave me alone. I can't deal with it. I'm an introvert.
So you were saying though about the JoJo.
Oh yes. So he was somewhere, and this girl was like talking about student loans, and she was like, so you're willing to accept debt up to $10,000 forgiveness or something like that? And he said yes or whatever. And then she was like, are you willing to make it $50,000 because that would help a lot more people, and that is like the average or something like that, like kind of describing what people, the minimum that people would need to like live. And he went, no, I'm not willing to do that. Almost like he was offended, like the way he responded to it and his tone
Was
and
it
how
harshly
sharp.
and abruptly? Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck, Joe Biden? What the fuck? You're all like, oh, I'm here for the poor people, the everyday people. And that's one of the things that fucking affect people the most.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like, oh, I got elected. I did all the ass kissing I need to do. Fuck this shit. I'm gonna be just.
Joe Biden is as right as a left-leaning party can go.
I'm like gonna just coast by and like do like probably like 40% less of what Trump was doing, but still be an asshole like underlying. But everybody's gonna be super happy and think I'm great because they're so used to Donald Trump, and everyone's gonna love my ass.
Here's how I describe this election, how it went down in the United States. Joe Biden didn't win. Donald Trump lost.
Yeah. Yes.
You could have put Donald Trump up against most people. Joe Biden didn't win. Donald Trump fucking lost.
Yeah, Donald Trump or friggin' Mitt Romney people. You guys would have elected Mitt Romney.
Over Donald Trump. Jesus Christ. I didn't know, just right quick, Ted Cruz is from Calgary.
Huh?
And he's a Texas senator.
Explain.
He went to Harvard and graduated from there. He's a smart guy.
What
He's
age
a
did
nutball.
he leave?
I don't know.
Like 19?
I don't
Probably
know.
like, oh, okay.
I have no idea. But yeah, he's Calgary. So in theory, Ted Cruz could run for prime minister.
Oh, hell. No, people would not do that.
You don't think Alberta?
Alberta would, but the rest of Canada would be like, hell no. Do you fucking think Quebec wants him there?
No.
Do you
I
fucking think the
Ontario-
Maritimes want him there?
No. Well, there's
Hell
some people.
No. Oh, yeah. Not enough. Hell no.
No. I read that today. I was like, that's terrifying.
Oh.
I want to get back to this void, so I'm not going to start over now, but I'm going to continue where I had left off. The city and county, along with power providers or any other service, owes you nothing. All capitalized.
I was so angry with that.
I'm sick and tired of people looking for a damn handout. If you don't have electricity, you step up and come up with a game plan to keep your family warm and safe. If you have no water, you deal without and think outside the box to survive and supply your family with water. You got no water that you need to live? Fuck you guys. Let's just look at that.
Deep dive.
Deep dive that. Here's the thing. Okay, you can't get water, right? Can't do that. Go find. What exactly was his words?
Go retrieve
Step up and come up with a game plan. So let's just say you couldn't get any fresh water that you trusted to be clean. Let's just say it got that bad.
Yeah.
Using his logic. Can I steal water then? That's a game plan. You told me to come up with something. No, that's breaking a law. So it's only when it's convenient. Maybe I'm just being a little bit of a shithead right now. Maybe I'm not saying go break the law, people, but I'm just saying how far is that game plan?
Yeah, it's
for
like
survival.
Literally there, like in that situation, some people were like, okay, like this might be like a do or die situation. Like, am I gonna die here or am I gonna get my ass
Multiple
out of
people are
here?
dead, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think it was like 60 people overall, like multiple states died.
I heard about the mother and the kid in the car from carbon monoxide
Yeah.
poisoning. I that broke my heart.
And like, oh my god, there was a boy who just literally just froze in his sleep, like in a house, literally just died.
Yeah. This is a
horrible.
comedy podcast, too.
Okay, so
No, just so everybody knows, normally we try not to go too depressing, but it just kind of that we go where the conversation takes us. We ride it like a wave.
yes, like BoJack, you have to have moments of
You got to have the dark moments to
Yeah.
appreciate the light. Now let's get back to this dark moment right over here. Okay. Where did I leave off? Just 1 second. My computer turned off.
it's after the fetch the water.
If you are sitting at home in the cold because you have no power and are sitting there waiting for someone to come rescue you because you're lazy, he used the wrong "you're" too. Your
Oh,
lazy is direct result of your raising. Very bad grammar. Only the strong will survive and the weak will perish.
go die,
What
Texans, greatest country in the world. I'm so proud to be a senator or whatever the mayor.
mayor? He makes it sound like he is Julius Caesar who led this big tirade. He's a mayor. He's trying to talk like General Patton is. It's like,
It's
dude,
2021, bro.
yeah, I love how everybody assumes that in those situations they would be the protagonist and they would be like, I'm the one saving, The arrogance, the egotism, and the absolute unempatheticness of that man who is there to lead that town. The mayor is their leader. And the fact is that he basically said, fuck all of you with that. Fuck anybody who's in any type of peril.
Your literal job is to take care of the citizens. That's the one thing you are put there to do.
Exactly.
So
You have to take care of that city, and the citizens come first.
You couldn't do the one job.
Yeah.
You don't care enough. You're that much of an
That's
asshole.
what it was. Exactly. Not that he couldn't do that job. He chose not to.
Yeah.
I want to get back to this. I hope this man really gets... I hope he burns to hell. I didn't want to say anything that was could be conceived as promoting violence. That's not what I'm going for. Only the strong will survive. Okay, I read that part. Folks, God, should be a comma, has given us the tools to support ourselves in times like this. This is sadly a product of a socialist government where they feed people to believe that the few will work and the others will become dependent on handouts. Am I sorry that you have been dealing without electricity and water? Yes. Why did he put a semicolon there? It should just be a comma, I believe. But I'll be damned if I'm going to provide for anyone that is capable of doing it themselves. We have lost sight of those in need, and those groups take advantage of the system and mesh them into one group. Bottom line, quit crying and looking for a handout. Get off your ass and take care of your own family. Bottom line, don't be part of the problem. Don't be part of the solution.
Oh.
I picture this man.
This man wants slavery to be a thing again.
Jesus.
That's the vibe I'm getting. Is it not?
I get it. I get it as he's probably has some money. You know what I mean? He's probably an asshole who's got a good fucking a good chunk of change coming his way.
Prestige family.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's just he doesn't see people as,
people.
Exactly.
Human souls.
I don't know his story, but I'm getting the vibe of this person didn't have to work that hard in life, Not that he was gifted, is that he came from a place that allowed him to do that. And the fact that, people support this shit. I don't get poor people who are fucked over by the wealthy class the entire time. And they still are like, oh, you can't limit how much money someone can make. It's why you are never going to reach $1 billion? I could reach $1 billion one day. No, Ted. I don't know why I chose the word Ted. Let's choose another one. No,
Billy.
Jacob. You're a plumber. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're not going to be $1 billion plumber, no matter how much you save. Or the construction guys. It's laborers I usually have these arguments with.
Oh, and the place that you
my
work that has
job?
liquor.
Just say the liquor store.
Oh, you don't have to say that.
Well, you just said the place that has liquor. It's the same thing. It's completely... What? You made me lose my point. What was I saying?
The crazy people, the government, and
I don't get why. I just don't get why they vote for those people. I feel like it's delusional and just kind of tribalism. They're shitheads. And here's the thing. Again, not against left or right. I think the left. A lot of people need to. And this isn't a political podcast either. We just happen to be political.
Right in this moment.
Yeah.
Head frames.
There are people where it's there's so many people that are feeling like their feelings matter. And what I mean by that is people, are offended by things. Well, guess what? That's part of life. Don't get me wrong. When someone's being a dick, you can call them out for it. But just being offended by something, that's not a good enough argument to me why something has to change. You know, that pisses you off. I shouldn't say that pisses you off, but like,
You
give a
felt
reason.
you had an ouchy feeling,
Yeah.
and you are uncomfortable by that. And instead of you dealing with that uncomfortableness, you want everybody to get it away from you.
That is better than I could have ever put it. And, you know, just in general, like when I hear about like comedians who are making jokes, and again, they are jokes. They're trying to get a laugh out of people, and people, you know, being so much to be like, you, like, oh, there's always weirdos who send death threats no matter what. You can say good morning America and it's like death threat.
Yeah.
But people who are like, this person should not have a career, they're a piece of shit, and I'm not defending anybody, but just like understanding that not everything is catered to you, to your feelings.
However, this does not go for like super gory images of like fucking people with their heads chopped off and shit on Reddit. I feel like that is the crossing a line.
What do you mean?
Like you can show whatever, you know what I mean? What we're talking about.
I was gonna say, aren't they allowed to, like, you have to put a not safe for work?
Oh yeah, I know, but but just on random parts of the internet. But I was using Reddit as an example because that's usually where you see that stuff.
I see what you're saying, where that you're not warned before.
Yeah,
like
you
a
just
graphic
get sent
image.
like a picture or whatever.
Well,
like,
well, I get where you're coming from with that. I mean, this is something that shouldn't have to be mandated. It should just be a decent thing you do as a person. Where if this is something that you would consider most people are not comfortable seeing, just put a disclaimer. That's what it is. You don't have to put a warning, a disclaimer. Call it a disclaimer, being like, shows gory images. Just showing somebody that for shock humor is just immature. And it's childish, you know? And people do. And there are always going to be cunts that do that. Yeah, so either way, we shit on both sides if we think there's bullshit. We are two artsy, educated people. No, wait, that's not how I wanted that to come across. We were people who went to college for film. That's what I wanted to say. Like, when I saw it, artsy, educated, like, we were educated in the arts. That's where I was going. And so far, we're not successful. But we're doing this because we want to relax for tonight. Yeah. So other than that mayor, like, just being, like, stepping down, I feel like that mayor should lose his pension just for the complete lack of regard.
Any sort of money that is
and
coming
here I am acting like we should cancel the mayor. I'm fucking being a hypocrite right here.
Well, here's the thing.
Nice.
The mayor is part of those humans living, and he basically said, fuck you, go die. Essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like for his job, that is extra crossing the line when it is something that important that you are literally taking care of, like, a country that we are literally living in. This is real life.
Yeah, well, we're not living in there, but people are.
I know, but I mean, like, in that.
I see what you're saying. Oh, I see what you're saying. From their perspective, they're saying this. Yes. No, I totally agree.
And that's an ultimate no-no, because when you're in the government, you are committed to your whole life to that government, to the people, to everyone that you interact with.
Here, you know what I was thinking today? Because it's funny you bring this up. I was thinking today because you heard about Ted Cruz, right? Like, leaving Texas in that moment, like a senator, right? And because he said he wanted to be good, wanted to be good for his daughter or something like that. Like, he wanted to keep his family warm, go somewhere warm.
Yeah, he wanted to keep his family warm.
Here's kind of what, well, as a senator, you were still a leader. You're a representative of the people. The fact that you're taking the fuck off, but you're still reaping the rewards of being in charge, get the fuck out. You're not here. You're not on the ground. But also, it brought up a question. It's like, I'm doing this for my family. Like, politicians in theory, or like representatives of the government, should be loyal to that government.
Yes.
100%. But if push comes to shove, how many of those politicians would be loyal to the government over their family?
Yeah.
Very few.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But it got me to the idea of thinking, do you think people who run for office, do you think that possibly, like, it might be more advantageous if we only allowed people who never had, who don't have children, or like a family? Because then they don't have
like a military.
It's like think of it almost like a monk thing, where it's like love is the death of duty. Where, like, to do your duty, you must get rid of love, because you have to put the needs of the many first.
I feel like that's way too sci-fi and restricting.
Of course, I'm not asking in real life. I'm saying, let's say hypothetically though, do you think that might be lead to a better result in terms of, like, okay, they're not being, they're not just looking out for themselves in that regard, or do you think it would be the opposite, where people would have no care for your family? I don't care about your family type thing.
I feel like you need a mix of, actual human beings, and I feel like somebody who is completely like non-connected is not able to run a government in an efficient way.
It cannot.
You need everybody
work
of
the will of the
every
people.
walks of life.
You know what? That's 100% correct. You won me over, but it is a cool concept. You gotta
Yeah.
say that.
Sci-fi movie.
I'm sure it's probably some version has been done, but hey, let's do our version. It looks like you're trying to like seduce me when you're playing with your hair.
I like playing with my dreads.
Oh, okay. Shannon, that is cultural appropriation.
Stop. Let's not get on to
fucking-
that.
just-
Please leave me alone. I'll explain one day.
Yeah, so let's get off of that because that's a political portion of the podcast. If anybody's still listening, I think we've hooked them because we're nuts too. I want to thank you for telling me to watch The Umbrella Academy. I really enjoyed that show.
Yeah.
It's not the level of quality I think The Boys is, but I love the world and I love the characters. Because in my opinion, and I'm not going to go into spoilers for any of this show, everybody, because I want you to go watch it, enjoy it. The plot for season 1 and the plot for season 2 like literally is the same plot. It's just the characters' journeys are different.
But not in the sense that The Hangover was, because that was literally the same movie, but just the scene was in a different location.
Yeah,
not in that sense.
I would say, yeah, maybe I shouldn't say the word. The plot is the same.
The concept.
The goal.
Yeah,
the goal is the same.
Yeah.
And I guess you could say that for most things, but literally, like, both seasons is like to save the world.
Yeah. Which isn't a spoiler because that's part of the trailer.
Well, I mean, it is a spoiler or isn't?
Isn't.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because they say that in the trailer.
I want to ask you, though, without going to spoilers, who's your favorite character on the Umbrella
I
Academy?
like Klaus.
You like Klaus, and that's number 4.
I don't remember their numbers except for number 5.
I know them all. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Number 1, Luther.
Wow.
Number 2, Diego.
Mega fan.
Yeah. Number 3, Allison. Number 4, Klaus. Number 5. You ever notice how he doesn't have a name? Did they not name him?
No, I watched the video about it. So what it is there's actually a mix-up in the comics and the books.
Don't go into spoilers either.
Yeah, I know. Because in one scene they said something back in time, and then in another scene it like didn't make sense, and it was like, why did this person get a name but this person didn't, yada yada. But like, it's a whole mix-up that I don't think they explained yet.
Okay.
Or they just mixed it up by mistake.
Okay, so number 5 is number 5. Number 6 is Ben. And number 7 is Vanya.
Ah, see, in the comics, I think
in the comics, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm interrupting.
Ben and one of the other ones are switched. Their numbers are switched for some reason.
I think I was told in the comic
it's importance or something.
The number, the level of importance to their dad. Because I remember hearing that and I go, why the hell is Ben number 6? You think he'd be like number 3 or 4 or something?
Yeah.
Why was Luther number 1?
I think because he was strong.
Yeah, but I think I would use like the woman. I would put the rumor as number 1. That fucking power of like.
I think it was because he was loyal.
He totally was.
That's what it was.
Luther. I love Luther as a character. He's probably
a big snuggly. He's so sweet, but he's like, "Oh, you're dangerous." And it's like, "Oh, I don't know."
But he's
just so nice. And
I like
caring.
that he's stupid too.
Yeah.
He's not stupid. He's just kind of dumb, a little slow.
Yeah,
a little thick. He's an example of thick.
He's like, you little dumbass.
But you like him. You can't help but like him, and you feel sorry for him too. A lot of them. Diego. He's the character I like the least. I don't like Diego at all.
I love Diego.
I don't think he's a bad character. I just think Diego's an asshole.
I love that. I love that he's an asshole.
He's just so,
See, he somewhat reminds me of Flash, so that's kind of concerning that you don't like him.
Diego?
Yeah, like in a very light sense.
I
in
see
certain situations.
No, I see Diego as more outwardly. You see Flash more inwardly.
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah.
Allison, I wish they gave Allison more to do. I like her ability and what her moral story is. I feel like she doesn't have much to do though that's interesting, except when she's with Vanya. Her scenes with Vanya are really good. The Luther whole thing with her, I'm not the biggest fan of.
I like it. I think they're very sweet together.
I like the concept. I just want to see it upped.
Yeah. I think it's more of a like almost like living nostalgia kind of like thing they got going on, like back
When
in the
we were
sweet times.
younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Klaus. So number 4, I like Klaus's idea. I think they need to tone down Klaus just a bit.
Yeah,
He's
there's sometimes where he's too over the top.
exactly. I think if he was a little bit more grounded, I think he'd be a lot funnier. And I think he'd be a lot more like sad and a little bit more pathetic. You know what I mean? Like that's what I kind of see a little bit more of. I would like to see that because he's almost a bit of a caricature of himself.
Yeah. I think they're like, oh, comic relief. We need to keep it a little more funny.
You can have a character be humorous and be comic relief without having to be overly over the top or sacrifice for that character. I don't think they sacrificed, but I found in season 2 it was just like he was upped from season 1. Let's see.
Vanya, you didn't talk about.
Number 5, I love number 5. I think he's my favorite character.
Oh my god, his actor is so fucking good. He has such a like fan base online. I don't know his name.
He's great.
Oh my god, he's such a little shit. I love it.
Yeah, such a little shit, but like in a like he speaks.
Charming.
Yeah, like he's very just like talking to you like you're an idiot, but it's so hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like if you saw like he's supposed to be a 12-year-old or 10-year-old talking to you like that, you'd be like, huh?
Yeah.
Ben, I love the concept of Ben.
Yeah.
Ben, because Ben doesn't have much of a character. He's not developed as much. He's the least developed of all.
Yeah, because he's dead. He's not a main goer.
Yeah, and is that a spoiler?
No,
because he was dead before the show started.
No, that's like in the first like fucking 5 pages of the comic or something.
Oh, see, I like the reveal of him because then it's like you're like, who the hell's sitting with him? And it's like when he's kind of like when Klaus, because Klaus can see the dead. When Klaus is kind of like a little like weary, Ben's got a hood up, and then when he starts to come to, he sees him and he has the hood down, and then it goes number 6 Ben, and it's like 2 or 3 episodes in, and you're like, oh shit, I forgot somebody wasn't like I forgot there was one missing. So I love his concept, and I want to know what happened, and I like the whole octopus thing. Like we don't even know what it is, like a demon thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Vanya's great. Vanya is. I'm glad she's the kind of like the lead. She's really good. Elliot Page does a great job. I loved her so much in season 1. She was so like just like she was depression. No, she was oatmeal in a human form. She was just, and what I mean by that is when I eat oatmeal, people with it just plain oatmeal, I feel like the life is really draining out of me.
Like
I just feel
the walls
gray.
are gray. Yeah.
Yeah, like it really just it depresses me. It does. Like I just can't do it. It's like there's like it's like all the happiness came out. It's like a bowl of oatmeal to me is like a Dementor in Harry Potter. It just brings with it. Don't ask why.
Yeah, it's the way Canadian Tire makes me feel.
Yes, exactly. It's the way Canadian Tire makes me feel too. Just like,
it's like the smell. Everything's gray. It smells like the hospital and the DMV.
And rubber.
Just sad and waiting and slow and ugly and boring.
I remember this. Want to hear one of the most boring days of my life?
Oh
one
my
of the most
gosh.
boring Saturdays. I was going with my brother. He had to go get his car check or his car fixed at Canadian Tire, and I was going with him because I was going to go pick up GTA San Andreas. And I saved up enough money at Walmart.
Wait, is this up here or back home?
Back home.
Oh, okay.
Let me come with you, Rye. I was a little kid. When I was a kid. Okay.
I wanted context.
Well, if I would have finished the story, you would have been like, okay, he obviously was a kid for this.
Okay, but I just want to know where.
Okay, so this was like when I was like 11 or 12 or 10, in that age range. Anyway, we went to Canadian Tire. I'm like, how long do you think this is going to be? He said, hour and a half. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go fuck around in the store. I was like, I can do that. It'll be slow, but whatever. 6.5 hours later in Canadian Tire.
No.
Yeah, I literally I've never been more bored than anything in my life.
I should have just walked home.
That is, I should have. I probably would have made it. Fuck.
What happened? What did you do?
You just
sat there.
And this was before cell phones, people. Like, this was before cell phones. Yeah.
Oh no.
When we picked up GTA San Andreas, I swear to God, it's like I drank the fountain of youth again. I just was like, oh, I was rejuvenated. I probably stayed up till 1 a.m. when I was 12 years old because I'm like, I need to get back my Saturday.
I need to get some serotonin.
Yeah. It just felt like just being like I wonder if that's how solitary confinement feels, because that's how it kind of feels. Fuck.
Oh my god. What did you talk? Did you play? What did you do? You just sat there.
I don't have much memory of it because it was that not memorable. I just remember looking at the clock when I left. That's all I remember.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was dull. Again, I thought an hour and a half I could do that.
Yeah.
No. Never. Yeah, that was miserable. But back to Vanya. Vanya's a great character.
See how much we go off topic.
Oh yeah, exactly. We end up coming back around, but again, the conversation flows. You know,
Yeah.
We would never be a host thing where you want to learn something because we would go off.
Oh my god.
We're just more of like, this is personality.
We're just like what's on our head. It's like we just speak out loud. You just say what is literally on your mind,
Oh, yeah.
and then you go.
We're not interviewers.
No.
You know, okay, I think someone who tried to interview us would hate it because we keep going like 20 minutes down the road with another
Yeah,
thing.
or like me, like with like random people that I don't know. I'm like very like inward and careful with my words, but with you, I'm not, because I'm like, Dylan doesn't judge me, but I'm like, the interview's gonna take everything that I say and twist it up.
They're gonna make it sound like you're like a pederast or something like that.
No, that's not what I'm
You
afraid of.
don't watch The Simpsons, do you?
No.
No, okay. They do an episode like that, or a joke like that in The Simpsons, where Homer goes on the TV to clear his name because he's been accused of being a pervert.
Oh.
And when they do the interview, he does the interview. We see the interview as the audience. We watch it,
Yeah.
and then when they watch it back on TV, they edited the shit out of it, and you can see in the background the clock keeps changing times.
No.
Like, that's the whole thing, and it's like. He says, I wanted to grab her sweet candy. The edited version is, I wanted to grab her sweet can. And then at the end it says, dramatization may not have happened. Like, it's one of the funniest things on The Simpsons. Back when it was really funny. It has not been funny for a long time,
I've
in my
never
opinion.
thought The Simpsons was funny. The Simpsons,
Shannon, you kick puppies.
it makes me laugh as much as Futurama does.
You take that back, and you take that back now.
Like, maybe Futurama was like the edgy, like,
Wasn't it made by the same dude?
somewhat. Who?
Matt Groening. He made both, didn't he?
Made Simpsons?
Yeah, Matt Groening made The Simpsons. Didn't he make Futurama?
I have no fucking clue.
I'm gonna Google this.
The only thing I know about Futurama is that the robot is Jake from Adventure Time, which is the dog.
I see.
That is the only fucking thing, and I know the meme. So I know the meme.
You know
But,
the
like-
yeah, it's created by the same dude.
Oh wow, that's why I don't like it. Like I watched like an episode and a half, and I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on? This is not funny at all. No, I don't know. Maybe it just had to be like in the moment. But like South Park, I watch all the old South Parks. I'm like, this is fucking funny. So no, yeah, it just fucking sucks. Yeah, I take that back. Futurama just sucks.
Damn. Really pissing people off.
0.2 out of 10. At least they tried.
Damn. Fucking Christ, Shannon. No soul, girl.
I think what happens when I get high is the F in my INFP just goes. It flies.
Yeah, you can be a real asshole when you get stoned sometimes.
But, like,
I'm an
in a
asshole
nice
normally,
way.
but then it's like you
Like I don't yell at you. I'm like, well,
No.
you're just like
No,
oh,
you're a
da, da, da."
bitch though. You can be a total bitch.
But like not in a mean way.
No,
Like in
I can,
like in a Mallory way.
which is a very
Talking nasty.
Which is yeah. You'll randomly say something that is an insult and a put down. You'll just randomly put someone down, and you'll be like, "Yeah, you're getting kind of fat," something like to that extent. Where it's just so blunt. You're like, "Who asked you?" It's just like, "Well, you're kind of getting fat." You basically become like my grandmother, where she'll just say, she said that on her deathbed to our cousin.
Who?
Pretty sure to Tara, where she said, yeah, you are gonna be, you need to lose weight.
Oh,
you know,
no.
and even my granddad had to be like, yeah, but I remember her saying that. And here's the thing,
You know what? She was probably really concerned.
But here's the thing, though. If you're concerned about that, you can say it with love, not with being an asshole.
Yeah.
You can say something like that, but it wasn't.
Well, what it probably is that she doesn't know how to display her feelings because of whatever. That's how she grew up and whatever. So her way of telling her, I'm concerned that you're going to die because of your weight or whatever, etc., is to say it that rude, blunt way, because that's the only way that she knows how to communicate, you know?
No, you can still be... I don't buy that in people. People can choose how they fucking communicate that way. Hey, I'm an asshole, but I can choose not to be.
Yeah.
I just don't. No, I think, literally, you can literally talk to somebody on a heart-to-heart level, not a nasty, and you just know what that is. I love my grandmother, but yeah, that's something that's like, ooh, that's not nice.
Yeah,
that's the definition of not nice.
Yeah, uncalled for.
Yeah, I know what I mean. But Graham was interesting, that's for sure.
Oh my god, I remember when we were in.
Maybe one day. I'm just gonna finish this real quick. Maybe one day, because I've told you this story. Maybe one day on the podcast, I'll tell you guys the story about how my grandmother went on her deathbed, was sitting around. We were all sitting around in a circle, and she started going back, reaming every one of us out about how we fucked up our lives. And I'm at the very end, and I'm not going to spoil the ending. One day I may tell that story. It really depends on what my... It's a very dependent story.
Keep in mind, old lady.
Yeah, exactly. Old lady.
Old timer.
Yeah, I don't want to go too well, you know, maybe in a year or two.
1 year anniversary.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we, if I can hit so many followers, you know, if I can hit 100,000 followers for a podcast and YouTube, whatever, I will tell that story.
That would be amazing.
Oh God, I'm gonna. Anyway, let's get off that.
Within a year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. No. Are you excited for the Justice League Snyder cut?
No.
Why not? They're redoing the scenes that nobody really liked with Zack Snyder, so the whole movie nobody can really like again.
It looks like the same movie, but like montaged differently.
Yeah,
it's
different angles.
It's like, oh, remember this scene? Okay, now pair it with this other scene. That's no. Oh, look, no more fake upper lip on Henry Cavill. Somehow Henry Cavill looks unattractive as Superman. I'm like, ugh, ugly Ken doll.
Do you find him attractive? I find he looks the same.
Only in
that interview with
that interview with the girl, and like he kind of is attractive in The Witcher, but he is ugly as Superman. But like it's not him; it's just like the way they make him look.
The hair, the gray color scheme, or the gray, you know.
I don't know. It's like they make his face like extra, like plastic surgery looking.
You mean the fake mustache? Or not the fake mustache? He had the opposite. Usually you have a fake mustache. He's like, no, I have a fake lip above the mustache. You didn't see that coming. Why is someone has to have done that where they take off, you know how in movies they take off the mustache and it's a different person? Well, if someone takes off the upper lip and he has a mustache under it, and they're like, oh my god, it was Old Man Reese?
Reese.
Is a random name.
That's not a name.
Reese is.
Anyways, so yeah, but like, I want to know what's with the Joker. He's in a scene.
Yeah, that's probably a dream scene.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that is the dream scene because that was out in the sand, right?
Yeah, they're on Apocalypse there.
He was just like, "Please watch my movie." Here's Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, we got one chance for you. Don't fuck it up this time. I heard that trailer too, and someone, I think it was Jeremy Johns, that kind of pointed out, it's like his voice sounds a little less high pitched, like he was told to gravel it down.
Well, it was probably like, I'm in a nightmare and I'm scaring you.
Well, now it almost feels like there's when I think of the Joker voice, a lot of people think Mark Hamill. I think Heath Ledger. That
Oh.
Heath Ledger is my favorite Joker. Like, he's just so. He was the first Joker that creeped me out.
Yeah, it was like, ooh, this is like a scary terrorist man.
Yeah, exactly. This guy is like, he would cut you. He's the kind of guy if you seen him at a bar, you'd be like, I would leave the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hear that voice, and I kind of feel a lot of people who do Joker impressions really try to do the Heath Ledger. Hi. Kind of that weird thing. Bad impression, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we get the concept of what's happening.
But you think I'm going to do a Joker? I'm going to do the whole podcast as the Joker from now on. And
Halloween special.
10,000 subscribers. I'll do the whole podcast as the Joker. I'll role play with fans. We'll do a Twitch stream. Do you think Elon Musk should get the credit if they ever colonize like another planet? Do you think it should be solely him?
Why?
Well, it's his program.
Is it?
Well, he's the one funding it.
The whole space thing?
Well, I don't know if he's the only one, but Tesla's developing shit like that.
Oh, no.
Well, it's almost like though
He's gonna name it something stupid, like after his kid.
Oh, I'd be if. Yeah, that is a strange fucking.
Welcome
name.
to.
You, Shannon, you were being insensitive toward somebody's name.
Ah.
That was good. There's a line in Fight Club that I feel like is very, very possible if we ever like actually go into space more, and like if you could ever colonize a planet, right? Anything like that. The planets are going to be named after companies and corporations. Like they say, Planet
the Pepsi
Starbucks.
Planet.
You know what I mean? Pepsi Planet, yeah. McDonald's, Mars McDonald's. The big M, yeah.
And one day in the very distant future, it's gonna be like, why was our planet named Pepsi? Well, back in the day, there was a Coke.
No,
company.
they turn it into a legend where it's like the great Pepsi. What if Mars was just a really rich guy that they named it after? So they made up this big story about him being a god.
Jesus Christ, time is the thing, people. We are living in evolution. We are evolving every single day towards a different us.
What's
a different reality.
What are you talking about?
Society is moving onward still.
What are you talking about? That weed hit you, didn't it? Holy fuck, you're losing your mind. You see through time now, too?
Somebody understood. Somebody understood.
I feel like a lot of people understand me being, what the fuck are you on? What was in that?
I know.
Man, maybe maybe you might sober me up after that shit. Yeah, I kind of, like, we were talking about this today at work, like, how Steve Jobs had the whole, he didn't actually, like, build anything, but he gets all the credit, he takes all the credit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, I'm Steve Jobs, and I made all these things.
Yeah, it's like, what did you do? Did you come up with the idea?
Because
coming up with the idea, is a part of the process, but it's not necessarily the hardest part. Implementing it is the hardest part, and that's coming from a guy who's like, I'm the idea guy in a group. Normally, I'm the worst at putting it into practice because I'm completely useless.
I don't think you're completely useless.
Well, I don't think I'm completely useless.
Okay.
It was just to hammer home the point that I'm not thinking highly of myself.
We don't want a pity party here, okay?
I don't want a pity party.
I know, that's what I said.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being sarcastic. I was like, oh, we're gonna fight on the podcast, are we? Yeah, that. He is a strange dude, Like, I think you have to be a little strange, but he gives me the vibe of the kid who brought the briefcase to school.
Yeah.
I feel like every
school had one.
And everybody knew, he brought the briefcase to school. It's like,
a little suit.
Hey, apparently it worked for him. One thing that drives me nuts is how people look up to billionaires as something to aspire to be. You should aspire to be successful.
Everyday Joes?
People.
Oh.
Not anyone in particular. People do, though. They look up...
Okay.
What?
Just go onwards.
Well, I was making a point. And then just like, that question was unnecessary.
No. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to apologize. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is where I was going, so that's why I just said people. It's not important to what I'm about to say.
I understand.
Now what the fuck was I about to say? Now I sound like an asshole. I can't even think of it. God damn it. Oh. Now I lost it. God damn it. All right.
I'm so sorry. Just Just rewind everything.
I'm not gonna do that.
No,
Well,
I broke the fourth wall.
Why did you break the fourth? What the fuck are you talking about?
No, they know.
What do you?
We edited.
Edited? Oh, jeez. What did they think? We're not. Here's the thing. I don't think I'd ever do a live podcast because I'm afraid of the shit I might say.
No live news for me.
No, exactly.
Fuck the government.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Now you're going to make it sound like an anarchist show.
What? No.
Anarchy Burger.
Oh, anarchist.
Oh, my God. We've probably told that story on the podcast, but for the people who are just joining us, I wanted to go over the story
It's
again.
a great story.
It's a great story. So when we were in film school, our teacher, who shall remain nameless, but he was an art teacher. And he's never going to find this, but I want to keep it so nobody else knows his name for it, because I like the guy. So I don't remember the class, but did he not tell us not to
He sent an email out.
Yeah, well, let me just quickly explain what's happening. Our film industry was facing our tax credits being shredded by the local government.
Yeah.
So we were going there, the entire industry, to protest this. And we were in college learning about the industry in this time. So I've set the scene. And we're in class with this teacher. What does he say to us?
He sent an email out and he was like, yo, when you go there, you're also representing the college because you are a student there. So you have to behave and don't do hate shit and la la la. Like, basically behave. You're representing the college. So he sent that email out to all of us and we read them. We were like, okay.
Yeah. And then it happened.
The day.
Me and Shani were by each other the entire time protesting. And I looked like somebody at a Woodstock. I don't know why. We had these yellow bandanas that everybody tied around their arm.
Yeah.
And I was a jackass and tied it around my head. But it was a whole total look. I liked it. So we were there and we run into these anonymous people. Like people who wear the Guy Fawkes mask. And they have the flag.
It
had a
had
weed
a,
flag.
yeah, it had a weed flag with the Canada flag, but it was a weed flag, and this was before marijuana was illegal.
Well, not even that. It just kind of felt like that has nothing to do with why we're here.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly, yeah. And it's kind of ironic that the people who seem to really be against, not everybody from Anonymous, but I feel like buying a Guy Fawkes mask is the opposite of, like, I don't know.
You look douchey.
Yeah, it's become a douchey thing now. It's become so, like, it's not cool. It's what's, like...
Ooh, I'm a Redditor.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of, yeah. It totally gives me that vibe. But anyway, so our teacher is, he's almost giving a big... is he giving a speech? Because you got there before I did. I was talking with somebody.
I don't actually remember that. I only remember what happened and then the aftermath.
Okay, so
And I remember coming around a corner.
I remember walking up to friends and I hear them talking. They say, so I'm talking with my friends and they say, listen to the teacher here. And I just look over and see him and he's kind of hooting and hollering. And I can't remember what it was about. But then the anonymous people walk by and he turns and goes, and these anarchists.
Fucking shouting.
Yep.
Everybody else was just talking normal.
And the three people from Anonymous, one had crutches with a missing leg. One was a woman, and I didn't see their face, but long hair, small stature, assumed it was a woman. And the other one was a 6'8" monster of a man. And this teacher is these anarchists, and they're
he's
arguing.
Old.
And he's like 55 to 60 years old.
No, he's like 58.
55 to 60 years old.
Oh.
No, he's 58.
Oops. He's way older than 55. He old man.
Well, I was gonna say, aren't our parents that age?
Anyways.
Yeah. So he's arguing with these guys, and they're all arguing with him, and he's in their faces, arguing. And I go over there because everybody's kind of watching. I go over there, and I think maybe one other student came with me. I don't know why, but I was like, I'm not gonna help the teacher. In terms of I'm not gonna fight these guys. If I did, I was going for the guy with the one leg because I was like, I'm gonna get my ass kicked by that girl and that dude. I was like, I will pull him away as he's getting the shit beaten out of him. You know, I'm not gonna jump in between, but I'll just try to pull him back from getting the shit beaten out of him. Thankfully, a cop had stepped in and was trying to calm things down. And then the moment that shut the teacher up and that it was like you felt everybody's assholes get tighter. Is when the 6'8" guy took his mask off, and you can't. And it's like no matter what, you didn't think he'd be scarier under the mask. Even like you don't think a 6'8" guy can get any scarier than being a 6'8" guy. You see this fucking jailhouse prison tattoo on his fucking cheek, and it's like that teacher had a heart attack in that moment because he started coming over. The cops like don't no, and then the other cop went up to the teacher and was like, walk away, and he's like, yep, and I'm sitting there being like, oh my god. We went with everything. Did you see that? I told everybody. I was stopping random people on the street. I'm like, hey, you're in the industry. Do you know this guy? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, dude. Almost stopped protesting. It was that fucking hilarious.
Oh my god. That was such a scene.
Oh, it was glorious. It was and I think because the teacher knew I was behind him the whole time, I think that's why I got better marks in that class. He's like, I'm going to give him marks because he had my back. I was like, I didn't have your back, but I was going to make sure you weren't going to get killed. Oh, my God. It would have been like, please, here, this man. I've got his shirt. I'm holding him by his shirt. He's getting his ass kicked. That was just beautiful.
Yeah, it is a cherished memory.
And I really hope that Corona goes away so we can experience more memories like that with seeing people in public.
Go nuts.
Yeah.
I want to see people go nuts, but like not at me, like at work.
And in a way,
I want to see it go to happen to somebody else.
You want to see a public freak out, not someone go actually hurt
No,
people.
obviously not.
Yeah, just because.
Like the lady at the airport who went all the way outside of the door, stopping her feet.
I don't know if I want to say. I would just cringe.
I'd be like, I have to tell everyone.
Here's the question: would you pull out your camera and film that person?
I feel like I would if I could do it really and not especially like.
I don't think. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't like watching those videos too much, but I will. I don't like people filming that, though, because it's like, it's a person in their worst fucking moment. And see, here's the thing, though.
Here's the thing. You're an adult, and you chose to act
You're right.
that
you're right.
way.
You got a point. You have a point there. But I just feel like, to me, it's like, okay, I feel like most people are mature enough to be like, wow, I acted completely... Well, I feel like there are some people who, like, I acted very immaturely there. I regret that. And that to go viral, you're probably like, oh, like, could you? I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes for a moment, where it's like the world reliving your worst like cringe moment from high school, where you're just like, ah.
But I feel like there has to be punishment for those actions, and that is the punishment for those actions. If it's karma, honestly, you put bad energy out, you're gonna get bad energy back.
But here's the kind of the difference from that. You assume though. Does something like that ever truly go away? Like, where you're known, like, forever as that person? Like, there's always someone who's going to know you like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your argument, I think, would be a lot more, like, have a lot more ground if that were the case, where it was almost like a one and done. Mm. But that can keep just coming back, you know what I mean? It's like a new person discovered, oh, you're this person. You have to almost keep reliving that. That's the part I feel sorry for them for.
Yeah.
Again, they brought it on themselves because unfortunately that's the world we live in. But I do think, I don't think I'd pull my camera out. You know, I don't think that's a good thing to do.
I feel like I would, if I did that, I would send it to you, and then like.
Okay.
I wouldn't post it on.
Online,
I don't know if I would post on Facebook, but like I feel like I might do it like on Reddit, like just like I don't know who this is.
I don't know if I could. Here's the thing. I don't know if I could. But here I am, the immoral person watching them anyway, so I'm a hypocrite.
IHOP fights, hell yeah.
What?
IHOP fights, hell yeah.
IHOP fights when you're bored and you just want to just look at and just kind of almost be disgusted with the world. Just watching these drunk people fight at IHOP, you're just like, what the fuck kind of world are we living in?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, these people are morons. Yeah. They're drunk. And here's the thing.
At IHOP. You're drunk at IHOP and Chuck E. Cheese. Fucking get therapy.
Yeah. Just anywhere. Anybody who drinks and fights, I don't get it. Here's the thing. I understand that alcohol enhances moods, right? I don't drink when I'm angry though, because
Yeah.
I don't want that effect anyway.
Yeah.
But even when I drink, I'm not an angry drunk. The only time I've
No.
ever been angry when I drank is we argued about something, and it was after I was arguing, and then I started drinking. Like I was planning to drink anyway,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of I sat on that the rest of the
Yeah.
night. But I've never been the person like, like there are angry drunks. It's like they start fights.
Yeah.
I would
Purposely.
Yeah, I would never want to be around somebody like that. The fact that there are people who love going out with those guys.
Whoops.
Just throw my stuff on the floor.
I'm like a cat. I just gotta.
You just gotta destroy my shit.
Yeah. It's part of the being process.
Shannon, I'm very glad that you are not a fighter. I wouldn't. I just.
I can be. Like,
have you ever been in a fist
ultimately.
fight?
No, but like,
Then-
like I'm a grabber. I'm like,
Yeah, but have you
Little
ever put,
chihuahua.
have you ever put your hands on another person,
yeah.
like an actual, like in your adult life?
No.
Then I'm sorry, you're not a fighter, and I'm thankful for it. I understand you got fired, but you're not going out.
That's because I'm antisocial.
But you're not going out and starting shit with people. You're not looking at like another girl across the club and be like, she's looking at my man different.
No.
You know, you're not like that. Like,
No.
I could never date somebody like that. I'd be like, that ain't good. Our buddy Matty, when we used to go out to the bar, it feels like there were multiple times we had to stop Matt from getting beat up.
Why?
He was usually dancing with somebody's girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. And to no fault of his, I don't think he was aware.
Yeah.
But there was always, some girl in that bar that was like having, trouble with her boyfriend. And the boyfriend was at the bar.
Yeah, what the fuck, people? If you're like fighting at the bar and then you start grinding up on somebody else and you know your boyfriend's there, your girlfriend's there, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen? You're just getting that person involved with
Yeah,
your
no,
shit.
that person's a piece of trash for doing that. That person's a piece of trash that can potentially bring somebody else into that volatile situation. But yeah, there was a few times that we were, around the bar, and every so often, like, we saw Matt leave, and then it's probably been like 8 minutes or something like that, and I think it might have been one of our buddies was like, where's Maddie? And then it was like, as we all turn, we just see Maddie getting pushed off the dance floor by like a dude and two other dudes.
Yeah.
And we got up, we're like, nope, this ain't happening. And I'm pretty sure, like, we just calmed it down, you know what I mean? Bouncer, stepped in between those guys and Maddie. We just wanted to make sure Maddie wasn't going to get hurt. I wasn't going over there to start a fight, but it was like, oh, shit.
It's not like hockey where it's like...
Yeah, no, but I remember, I'm pretty sure it was Theo was hot.
Yeah.
We had to keep Theo from, because Theo is a loyal guy.
Yeah.
And Theo is somebody I want in my corner.
Yeah.
But it was like, I feel like it was me and Rob who were doing a lot of the, okay, guys, we're like...
let's chill, have
well,
fun.
not even that. It was like, let's get Maddie worried and let's not
yeah.
start shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
That's
we want to
what
have a
we
good
show.
time. Thankfully, though, we don't have any fighters.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine being that.
Yeah, like the Jersey Shore people are like, dang.
Oh, dude, I couldn't, like, again, yeah. I got no time for that. Like, I never did. I got into a few fights in high school, but that was, again, stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing. In high school, it feels like those fights aren't real. You're not fighting, like, to
Yeah,
really
you're just
hurt.
like, I'm angry and
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
angry, you're
saying
not,
things.
like-
Meow.
Out in real life, you hit somebody, they crack their head.
Yeah.
You're in jail. You know what I mean?
It's almost like you're in
They
a
die.
different, like,
The stakes are
universe.
higher. The
like,
stakes are higher.
yeah, like how high school is versus, like, the real world.
Especially our high school, because we knew everybody in our school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it was
a
400,
community.
not even 400 people.
It's like a commune.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, it kind of was. Like, either if you didn't know him, one of your friends knew this guy.
Yeah.
It was like, it was, kind of like the mob. Hey, he's from the school. It was not like a mob at all. I just wanted to be like, hey. So yeah, no fighting. I think that's a good spot to wrap that up because, as on this comedy podcast, we like to say no fighting, no beating each other down. But we want to thank you guys, and we hope you join us next week, same place, wherever you get your podcast, guys. And until next time, puff on that.